I found I have a new pet peeve. One that I guess it didn't really occur to me before, but like if you're watching a movie with someone and it's like a movie that...
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Talking to you guys about Brett and Olivia married at first sight. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on all that good stuff, and make sure you click on the bell button for notification of the uploads, and we appreciate you. Guys, we are talking about Brett and Olivia, and I think all of us knew we were coming to this day. Okay, we will come into this day. It's not a surprise that we are here. Now, what I really want to say is I want to put the blame squarely where it deserves to be. Number one, Olivia herself. Okay, why do I say that? Olivia and the experts must share equal blame. Why do I say that? If you know kids is not in your option, or it's a consideration on how you feel, then you should have stated that more clearly. Two, if that is also the experts not listening to her very well and saying, okay, look, she said it kind of like feels like this is what it is, she kind of wants kids, they too should never put her with Brett, because that's a fundamental difference in both sets of parties. Okay,
go through all the trouble of making everything work when you and I both know that there's fundamental problems, that we want different things out of life.
I get the fundamental differences.
Okay? Now, if I'm a person that wants kids, but if I can't have kids because of maybe something that happened, I would accept it. But for the fact you chose somebody who's not sure they want to have kids, unless they're in some type of relationship, and they're not even giving me what I deserve and what I think I want, of course Brett will do what Brett is doing. Am I saying Brett is free from this admission of guilt? No, because we've got to come onto him and come onto him strong. Because some of the behaviors today was abysmal. Okay, but let's deal with this really, let's deal with this on a more, pragmatic level. And the very beginning of the episode, we got to see them lying in bed, and it's funny because they're closer than Miles and Karen are in bed. I'm just saying, like someone who says they find her attractive, I'm seeing at least Olivia and Brett a little bit closer, a bit more intimate.
A lot of free time.
Not sure what to do.
I'm watching movies.
Yes, I've been catching up on all the movies that I haven't seen.
At least than Miles and Karen, but I ain't trying to shoot nobody. And so what you see them obviously, and one of the things that I picked out about Brett, obviously he likes to be funny, he likes to make jokes, and I think he took it one step. He said it one joke too far, and she was like, "Okay, Brett." And then even me, I was like, "Bro, why don't you understand time and season, bro? It can't be every second you're being a jokester and a trickster." I don't know if you guys know the person in the classroom who's always a jokester and trickster. It's because they're empty barrel. You understand? They're empty within. You understand? There's not much going up there, cuz. You understand? So the jokes and the laughter and the banter all the time is oftentimes to deflect from the fact that of looking in. And I've said this over the past few weeks. You got to know the time and the season, sir. Okay? And it gets frustrating when you have to deal with somebody who's always joking and never seemingly being serious.
That you like, and that you're sharing with them, and they're on their phone while you're trying to watch the movie, and like not even really paying attention. That's pretty annoying. But
I have the night off.
For Brett, it may be, I know the pet peeve situation. I do appreciate Brett's pet peeve here, where it was looking at a situation where you're sitting down watching the film. It's one of your favorite films, and what you're doing here is that you're sharing part of your memory, childhood experiences, something that made you feel happy. And I can understand when somebody's not paying attention to something that means a lot to you, how painful that is. I mean, that is painful, like in its own right. The problem here is that as you saw them sitting down and they're watching a film and she was on her phone, she was not made aware that this film or this thing that you're doing right now held such gravity for you. Now, if you don't communicate that, sir, you're asking the person to read your mind. Like, she didn't even know that you were pissed. But you use a passive-aggressive way of dealing with it because you weren't sure how to express how you felt without there being an argument or conflict. And so just because you wanted to avoid the conflict, when you got up to go to your bedroom, you were pissed, you were angry, though you didn't want to show that to the outside world because you didn't want to show that you're hurt, because it's a way of protecting you from being vulnerable to the other party, rather than saying I'm hurt by the situation, you got up and moved out.
That's pretty annoying. But
I have the night off.
Out. Sorry, got up and went to the bedroom, right? And that was the end of the session. Whereas communication says, okay, right now, I'm feeling vulnerable right now. I'm feeling a little bit like you're going to hurt me if I say something. But let me just be frank and true with you. Olivia, we're watching a film, and I'm not going to lie to you, this film means a lot, like in terms of the fact that we're spending time together. It stems back to my childhood. Da, da, da. I really I wanted to share this with you. And it sounds so corny. Let me tell you something. It sounds so corny. Yeah? I'm telling you, it sounds corny, yeah? For a lot of us who are in the hood, that sounds corny. As a man, expressing that the fact that, you know, this thing that we're doing right now, you know, like, it means a lot to me. My grandma used to do it with me back in the day. I'm just giving an example. Grandma used to do this back with me back in the day, you know, and it means a lot to me, right? But oftentimes, what men would do is that they won't explain that part, right?
There's just no communication. And I think that we argue the same points every time because there's never any resolution because there's no communication.
Something will happen with the girl and she'll do something which you didn't like, and then you will blast her or get angry. And then she's confused because she's like, why is he so angry? But then girls start to learn over the period of time, oh, that's how men communicate. If he's not vexed or he's not angry, he's not masculine. If he's not vexed, he's not angry, he's not communicating. No, actually, true masculinity and actual true communication here, leading to comprehension, which is to understand, would be to communicate, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you, yo, that hurt. You know, and the other day, me and my missus got into it, and I just told her, listen, look, what you said here, it really hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real with you, you know, I felt like it really hurt me, and I said, listen, rather than me being angry about it, you know, and then going back and forth with you or cussing you out or ignoring you and being passive about my anger, how I feel, I want to tell you that I feel hurt by what you've done. Do you understand? Now, that the response you may get back may not be the best response. It may be chin up, stop being this. It might not be the greatest, right? But you've got to push through that. And you've got to keep explaining. And the reason why is because in order to create a friendship, in order to create a loving friendship that is a blossoming relationship that lasts a span of time, you need to have that communication. In fact, that's probably what Miles needs to do. But here, that needs to happen. You can't get up and walk out the room, because what will happen is if she doesn't pick up on that, you're further vexed that she didn't pick up on the fact that you're angry that you walked out the room. Right? And I know this because I used to do this when I was a kid. When you date girls and you're vexed at what the person's did, I'm a person that's not going to be like, yo, no. I'm not going to run my mouth. I'm just going to show you through my actions. So you just see me, I'll walk away, keep real quiet. You come and see me, I'll be like, let off me, man. Leave me alone. Now you got to ask me, what's the matter? Nothing, innit? I'm showing my shoulder again. Leave me alone. What's the matter, coach? I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone. I do want to talk about it, but I need you to ask 3 or 4 times so that I get into a space where I'm going to talk about it. Why do we have to wait for you to get into a space? You're not a kid. You understand? Be an adult now. We need to deal with our emotions and deal with the fact that we have to tell the truth. You don't like the way it just got said to you. You didn't like it. Brett, you didn't like what Olivia just did there. Communicate that. She's not no mind reader. She's not Superman. Okay? She cannot mind read. Superman can't either, but hey. And so, you know, she also said, and not only that as well, because, just to add on to that, because obviously she decided not to pay attention during that period of time and paid attention to her phone, the feeling of rejection would have touched Brett at that point. Okay, remember, this whole thing is about fear. Reason why Olivia and Brett are not working out. They both fear him abandonment, her, that he won't
heard me before, but like if you're watching a movie with someone and it's like a movie that you like and that you're sharing with them and they're on their phone.
Desire her, right? He won't want her. And so now what you're seeing is his triggering of his fear through the fact that she doesn't spend quality time, which is a love language, quality time in his presence. And then she just thought it was nothing. Do you see how an argument's going to start now? But all it took was for Brett to open his mouth and say, hey, that hurt me. I want you to understand something. If you're watching this, you must get to a place where you say, hey, that hurt me. And if they decide to make a mockery and make you shame, don't worry about it. You just say, hey, you know what? That's, you know, even you making a mockery right now, that hurts me too. You know what I'm saying? And you practice this because let me tell you something. When you get there, if that partner's not going to be appreciative of you explaining how you felt hurt by your situation and about your emotions, that ain't the partner for you. Maybe may want to look at that. You know what I'm saying? Might not be the best partner because they're not ready to communicate how they feel. And so going on from that, you know, she said obviously that she doesn't feel that that she knows anything more than them. And this is where we get to a relationship grind, stand still, a halt. Okay.
I feel like we're kind of in a stagnant place right now, and I can't say that I know much more about him now than I did 3-4 weeks ago.
And this comes when there is a lack of injection of fuel for the car to keep moving forward, right? Petrol done run out, so the car's douche, right? And the car is stagnant right now. And it's stagnant because there has been a lack of fuel being embedded into the car. And so now the relationship needed fuel. It needs a consistent desire. It needs a consistent want and need to want to get to know the other person. It requires for somebody to say, I'm going to take a hit. You're not asking me questions, but I'm going to ask you questions and then desire the person. Right? And so that's what they were missing. They're both not desiring at the moment. I think Brett's pretty much had, I mean, we saw the episode. Brett was pretty much done. So any energy being put into a relationship has now kaputted. All right? Olivia, her lack of push into there as well. Her lack of affection.
Since we've talked to Dr. Viviana about trying to be more physically intimate and for her to come over to my house and, you know, look around and figure out
natural affection, wanting to be affinate with him, you know, may have also contributed towards the grind and the standstill of their relationship. He wasn't getting the affection that he needed. She wasn't getting the communication that she needed. And therefore, now the car is grind to a stop. You understand? And it, you know, and sometimes a car is moving so slowly and it's about to stop that you don't realize a relationship. And that's where Brett and Olivia are. Olivia didn't realize the car was slowing down a hell of a lot. At 1 mile per hour. Brett is already trying to jump out the car as the car moving. Like, he's not trying to be here. You feel me? And so I understand why there's a lack of, you know him more now. Because you guys have not vested time into finding out what is it the person wants. And how do I supply that? And how, if it's not my natural language to speak, how do I begin to learn that? And until you get to that place, you won't be able to. Right? Me personally, I'm learning how to do it myself. I'm trying to come out of comfort zone, and it hurts, bro. Like, it honestly hurts to come out of comfort zone, because sometimes people don't appreciate the fact that you come out of your comfort zone. Some people don't appreciate the fact that, hey, I stepped out of my comfort zone for you, you know, and you're trying to tell me that business, you know. Listen, mind how you walk, you know, and mind how you talk. You understand? Don't take me for a mug. But that's the thing. That's the whole part of these relationships. And I'm trying to learn this. If you want to be married, you got to learn how to do this kind of stuff. Because listen, marriage ain't no back or door thing, you know. You understand? It's not a backdoor thing. Anyway, let's continue. You know, the whole argument, I think, hidden argument that was happening.
Olivia went to go see her mom. Like, I still think it's such a bad idea to be traveling any kind of long distances. We're still under, obviously, the stay-at-home order. Decision day.
Behind the scenes, Olivia going to her parents' house. Let me be frank with you, okay? I can understand why Brett may feel a little bit antagonized. And I'm going to tell you something. It wasn't the fact that she went to her mum's. It's what her going to her mum's implied. Okay? Remember, at the beginning of this relationship, there's a money issue. And the money issue translates to a power issue. You see, in every relationship, when you get together, the very first part is a honeymoon phase. Then the power struggle begins to start, right? The power struggle in terms of, where do I fit in this, and how do I make sure I'm not going to get taken advantage of? Do you know what I mean? We start the jostling of power, okay? And so in the relationship, the jostling of power has been like, who's in control? Is it going to be Brett? Is it going to be her? Now, the moment she did not do it, the moment that she wasn't really forthcoming with going to stay in his house and, you know, following the way that he does things with a budget and everything like that, for Brett, what he saw was a woman that was spending too much money, was living lavishly, not responsible for her finances, and wasn't controllable. I want to let you know, listen, these men don't like these women that are not controlled. What does that mean? Doesn't mean he wants to control your every movement. He wants to know that when he speaks, you hear. You see, you want to provide the energy, you better provide a submissive energy. Man, them, if you want submissive energy, you better provide the provider energy. You understand? And provider doesn't mean just money. Provider is the way that you command and lead the situation. You understand? It's how you undertake tasks in that relationship. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like if you don't have a hand and a grip on those things, then she can't submit to those things. You get what I'm saying? Like the way that I said to you about Brett, how he dealt with the finance issue with Olivia, he should have been looking for a compromise. He didn't. What he looked for was a win. And when he looked for a win, she stopped listening because she realized, hold on a minute, you're going to just kill my fun. Rather than him going, listen, no, I want you to still have fun. No, let's still have fun. But you know what? You make a lot of money and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm in a vulnerable position because I don't earn as much as you and I want to do these fun things. Can we come together, work a budget, how we're going to be able to do this? Now, when he didn't do that and he said, let's work out a budget and you will spend this amount, he made it you and I don't approve of what you do. You must follow what I do. And in that moment, it was no longer we, it was I. And then that I turned into I want to win. When you want to win, and that's the hill you want to die on, your marriage will not last long. Let me tell you something. If the hill you want to die on must be that I must always win, you will die a quick death in that marriage. Because, you know, from what I'm learning, I'm going to be real to you. Some of these things I'm learning as I'm listening to people who are married. Make sure you guys tune in on a Tuesday and Wednesday, you know. Tuesday and Wednesday, you know, tune in, you know, because we do lives about marriage, you know. Real thing that we talk, you understand? Okay, look. So, if you're in a mindset of, I think someone put in my comment section, war, we are something, resolving, I don't know what it said, whatever, right? But it's about the fact that we are coming as a team. We are trying to resolve something. We're trying to win. There is no winners if you are hurt. There's only a loser. And so we don't want that. What we want, because we're looking for, the win is the longevity of the relationship. The win isn't my ego. If the win is my ego, the relationship won't last long. Do you feel me? So now when Brett is dealing with Olivia, you know, and she's gone to her mother's house, I don't think that's the implied meaning that Brett got. What Brett might have interpreted was, oh, hold on a minute, this girl's unruly. She doesn't listen to me. I've advised her, which was an advisory which I expected you to take. Let's be honest, as men, when we give advice, we're expecting you to take it. Unless we say to you, listen, like, it's open advice. The advice was actually more of an instruction that she shouldn't go out. When she went, what she actually did was disobeyed his instruction and caused him to remember, you don't listen to me. You don't obey rules and instructions. You don't take commands. You don't follow. You don't submit. Therefore, you are a variable that I cannot work with. And a lot of women are in this position. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying to you, listen, for the right type of guy, this might work. For a lot of dudes, it might not work. Because what they're looking for is the woman that will make him the king. And as a woman, your greatest gift is to make him a king, but know that you can control the king. You're missing it. You're missing the beauty here. You don't know your power, ladies. You think that you're going to win this war by becoming masculine like me. No, you win this war by making sure you use your feminine charm to get me to do what you want me to do. And I'm saying it's mad, but this is the truth. If you look at any longevity relationship, look how the woman will talk to the man to get him to do what she wants him to do. You don't fight me like I fight another man. You don't argue with me like I argue with another man. Do you understand? So, you know, when she went to the mother's house, you know, he took it as an offense. Okay? He took it as a mark against his leadership. Right? This girl doesn't listen, so if she wants to go and do her thing, let her do her thing. I'm even tired. You don't listen to me anyway. You don't want to give affection. I'm tired. Through all need the basket and need the sun. Right? And I believe that offense caused the issue now later on with him, you know, saying, oh, he can't put his life on hold. And I was like, what does that even mean? Now, I know that they've gone over the time limit of the day of judgment where they say whether they want to stay together or not. All right? I know they've gone past that time. I guess for him, he was fed up. He was tired. He said, I'm done. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And so when he was looking at the situation in terms of, you know, what his decision was, him going to his house, let me tell you something now. Him going to his house was the answer we needed anyway. Him going to his house said he's terminated this thing. He's over it. I'm done. I'm ruining it. You understand? I'm over it. And so, you know, for me, and we're going to explain this in a part 2 as well when we deal with it, I was a bit annoyed because, you know, he tried to make it out as if, you know, this was the plan, but this wasn't the plan. You see, his house has become a place of refuge and safety for his emotions, for him physically, and for him financially. When Olivia attacked his castle, she became an enemy. Oh my God. Like, I don't know where the Holy Spirit is dropping these bars from, but the bars are coming heavy. The moment she didn't want to move into the castle, the moment she said she's not about the castle, the moment she said that, you know, I'd rather you move into my house, the moment she started fighting about it's 40 minutes away, she started disrespecting the kingdom. When Olivia started obviously saying, you know, that she didn't want to move into the kingdom, into the castle, into the house, when she wanted to stay at her place, not 40 minutes away from work, when she didn't want to give up that sacrifice of being in that position to move into the castle, he took it as a slant, a disrespect, you understand? A market on the wall kind of thing, you understand? All right, Queen, you're moving like Vashti now. Yeah? You're moving a bit like Vashti now. You're thinking you can run things in this kingdom, innit? Let me show you how you can get replaced. Let me show you how you can get replaced real quick. I called you forth, and Vashti, you're doing this. Yeah, if you're Bible people, you know. Esther in the Bible. Before Esther, there was Vashti. And King Xerxes said, this is history even. So this is not in the Bible, it's history I'm teaching you now. Xerxes said, listen, Vashti, come. And Vashti's like, I'm not going there, blood. You understand? I'm going to stay right here with the girl demps. Yeah? He said, is that what it is? Mandem, what you not saying? Mandem said, get rid of her. Right? Because you can't come and disrespect the kingdom. See, the kingdom is more important. Now, the kingdom doesn't necessarily be that. Doesn't mean it's the house. It is the work and the sweat and the blood he's plowed into the ground. And out of the ground, what has he begin to harvest? He's harvested this house. That is why he's so intent about her moving in. That's why he's intent about, oh, stupid equity. He's so intense about this house because it's blood, it's sweat, it's tears. That's the kingdom. And when she decided to talk about how she ain't moving in, that was a slaying against the kingdom. And when you go against the kingdom, that's treason. Head off. Do you see what I'm saying? So for Brett, it was long time, and only this episode was just kind of just confirming what he already knew. This queen can't fit in this castle. She don't respect the castle. She thinks the castle's too small. She thinks the castle's not too lavish enough. She thinks the castle's not in the right position. Like, she's got a complaint against everything for him, right? And so, you know, Brett leaving and taking everything was real petty. For me, it was petty. You're going to leave the pantry and there's no food in the pantry, sir? And then your answer to the fact that there's no food in the pantry is that you ate it. And you said it so nonchalant. You were trying to...
Things in your last text message. I get home and everything is gone. Even food out of the damn pantry, Brett.
What food in the pantry?
There's no food in the pantry.
Yeah. Let's keep it real 100. Brett, you were trying to hurt her. Let's keep it 100 true. Brett, you were trying to take Olivia out the game. Okay? Because you felt hurt by her rejection by going to her mother's house. By the way, she works in a hospital. She's exposed to COVID every single day, sir. And she comes home back to you. And you think it's a risk for her to go to her mom's house? Okay, I feel you. I get it, the fact that you felt like you were rejected by what she did. I get it. But you got to communicate that. If you don't communicate that, she don't know that. If you had said to her, listen, look, Olivia, I'm not going to lie to you. When you went to your mom's house, here's what happened to me psychologically. I felt a certain type of way. Okay, I felt a certain type of way because I felt like you disrespected man's leadership and the fact that I'm trying to take care of you and I have my thoughts towards you. Now, when she realizes you care, she can now begin to change her narrative. Because as far as she's concerned, she's held it down for how long before you got there? She's independent by now. She don't need you. She's not dependent upon you, sir. So when you get there, she's like, no, you're going to have to earn my stripe. If you're going to earn my stripe, already the money situation, she not respecting it. All right, cool. You're going to have to earn that stripe by loving her. You understand? Like, you don't get the automatic respect off the bat no more because the money's not, it's not the same. You understand? So, I'm not saying that Brett is totally to blame. I'm just kind of giving you an example of understanding. So, Brett left and went on a petty thing and, you know, all this stuff about, obviously, you knew that was a plan. Abby, kidney, what plan? You understand? What plan? Because as far as we're concerned, we didn't see the plan, bro. She didn't see the plan. She didn't know that you were going to go and go away. the plan that you even mentioned to Pastor Cal was that the cat had to go home. But why did you have to go home? You understand? Why did you have to leave completely? Come on, sir. Don't play dumb. Don't play silly. Don't be stupid. You understand? Don't do it. Yeah, we don't want to see that right there. You get me? All right, guys. I'm going to leave it there. We're going to drop part 2. We do Dr. Pepper with Olivia. And we'll deal with some real things going forward. Appreciate you guys. Stay locked. Stay loaded.